Welcome to the DragonLance Saga Gaming Advanced Dungeons & Dragons episode. This is a 13th episode in the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Dungeon Master's Guide series. It is Misham Frost Cult, the 25th. My name is Adam. Dragonlance came out of Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, so I thought it would be fun to read the core rules aloud and discuss them with a live audience. I'd like to take a moment and thank the DL Saga YouTube members and Patreon patrons and invite you to consider becoming a member or patron. You can even grab Dragonlance Media using my affiliate links in the description below. We're picking up where we left off. Rods. Unless specified otherwise, rods radiate a magical effect which influences creatures hostile to the wielder. Rod of Absorption. This rod acts as a magnet and draws magic spells of any nature, cleric, druid, magic user, or illusionist, into itself, nullifying their effects, but storing their potential within until its wielder chooses to release this energy in the form of spells of his or her own casting. The magic absorbed must have been directed at the character possessing the rod, cf. Ring of Spell Turning. The wielder can instantly detect the spell level and decide on whether to react or not when the rod absorbs it. The wielder can use the energy to cast any spell he or she has memorized in but one segment without loss of spell memory, as long as the spell so cast is of equal or lesser level than the one absorbed. Excess levels are stored as potential and can be cast in like manner in one segment with no spell memory loss, as any level of spell so long as the wielder knows the spell and has it memorized. The Rod of Absorption can never be recharged. It absorbs 50 spell levels and can thereafter only discharge any remaining potential it might have. The wielder will know this upon grasping the item. If it has charges used, this indicates that it has already absorbed that many spell levels and they have been used. Example. A cleric has a Rod of Absorption and uses it to nullify the effect of a hold person spell cast at him by a magic user. The rod now has absorbed 3 spell levels, can absorb 47 more, and the cleric can, in one segment, cast any first, second, or third spell he or she has memorized, without memory loss of that spell, by using the stored potential of the rod. Assume the cleric casts a hold person back. This spell is only second level to him or her, so the rod then holds 1 spell level of potential and can absorb 47 more still, with 2 charges permanently disposed of. Very cool. Hey, so the Brick, how you doing? Happy holiday. Rod of Beguiling. This rod enables its possessor to radiate an emotional and mental wave of fellow feeling to all creatures with any intelligence whatsoever, 1 or higher intelligence. The effect is to cause all such creatures within a 2-inch radius of the device to be virtually charmed by the individual and beguiled into regarding him or her as their comrade, friend, and or mentor. No saving throw. The beguiled creature will love and respect the rod wielder, then will trustingly listen and obey insofar as communication is possible, and the instruction seems plausible and does not outwardly consign the beguiled to the needless injury or destruction or go against their nature or alignment. Each charge of the rod beguiles for 1 turn. It can be recharged. A turn is 10 minutes. Rod of Cancellation. This dreaded rod is a bane to all classes, for its touch will drain any item of all magical properties unless a saving throw versus the cancellation is made. Contact is made by scoring a normal 2-hit score in combat melee. And of course, we have a chart starting at 20 and going down to 10 from potion, scroll, ring, rod, staff, wand, miscellaneous magic item, artifact or relic, armor or shield, sword, even a holy sword, or a miscellaneous weapon. And it shows the saving throw for each. Several small items, such as magic arrows or bolts, together in one container will be drained simultaneously. Wow. If the score indicated or higher is not rolled, d20, the item is drained. Upon the item's draining, the rod itself becomes brittle and is no longer potent. Drained items are not restorable, even by wish. That's brutal. Can you imagine going up to a paladin and just draining his holy avenger? Oh, he would probably just drop to his knees and start crying. Rod of Lordly Might. This rod has functions which are spell-like as well as uses as a magic weapon of different sorts. It also has several more mundane workings. The Rod of Lordly Might is metal, thicker than other rods, with a flanged ball at one end and various studs along its length. It weighs 10 pounds, thus requiring 16 or greater strength to wield properly. What? 10 pounds, and you have to have 16 strength to wield a 10-pound weapon? 10 pounds is nothing. Crazy. -1 on 2 hit die rolls for each point of strength below 16. The spell-like functions of the rod are paralyzation upon the touch of the wielder so commands, fear upon all enemies viewing it if the wielder so desires, 6-inch maximum range, drain 2 to 8 hit points from the opponent touched and bestow them upon the rod wielder up to the rod wielder's normal maximum, cf. Ring of Regeneration. Each such function draws off 1 charge from the rod. The functions entitle victims to saving throw versus magic, with the exception of function 3, above, which requires a successful hit during melee combat. The weapon uses of the rod are 1, +2 mace as is, 2, +1 sword of flame when button 1 is pushed. A blade springs forth from the ball, which becomes the hilt, while the handle shortens the weapon to an overall length of 3 feet. 3, +4 battle axe when button 2 is pushed. Blade springs forth at the ball, and the whole lengths to a 4-foot length. 4, +3 spear when button number 3 is pushed. The sword blade springs forth, and the handle can be lengthened up to 12 feet for an overall length from 6 feet maximum to 15 feet maximum. Minimum to maximum. The latter length highly suitable for lance employment. These functions do not use charges. The mundane uses of the rod are 1, climbing pole, which, when button 4 is pushed, a spike which can anchor in granite is extruded from the butt, while the tip sprouts 3 sharp hooks of rod lengths 5 feet per segment until button number 4 is pushed again, or until 50 feet is reached. In either case, horizontal bars of 3-inch length then fold out from the sides, 1 foot apart, in staggered progression. The rod is firmly held by spike and hooks and will bear up to 4,000 pounds, 40,000 gold piece equivalent weight. It retracts by pushing button number 5. This number 2, the same function, will force open doors if the rod's base is planted 30 feet or less from the portal to be forced and is in line with it. The force exerted is equal to storm giant strength. 3. When button number 6 is pushed, the rod will indicate magnetic north and give the possessor a knowledge of approximate depth beneath the surface or height above it he or she is. These functions do not use charges either. The Rod of Lordly Might cannot be recharged. When its charges are exhausted, all spell-like functions cease, as do weapon functions 2 and 3, but the rod continues to work in all other ways. That's wild. Rod of Resurrection. This rod enables the cleric to resurrect the dead, even elven, dwarven, gnome, or halfling, as if he or she were of high enough level to cast the spell, and no rest will be required as the rod bestows the life-giving effects. The rod can be used once per day. The number of charges used to resurrect a character depends on the class and race, and it gives the breakdown of class and race. Multi-classed characters use the least favorable category. The rod cannot be recharged. Rod of Rulership. The individual who possesses the magic rod is able to exercise rulership, command the obedience and fealty, of creatures within 12 inches. Remember, 12 inches is times 10 in feet inside, times 10 in yards outside, when he or she activates the device. From 200 to 500 hit dice, or levels of experience, can be ruled by creatures with 15 or greater intelligence, and 12 or more hit dice levels are entitled to a saving throw versus magic. Ruled creatures will obey the wielder of the Rod of Rulership as if he or she were their absolute suzerain. But if some command given is absolutely contrary to the nature of the commanded, the magic will be broken. The rod takes 5 segments to activate. Each charge lasts for 1 turn. The rod cannot be recharged. Rod of Smiting. This rod is a +3 magic weapon which inflicts 4 to 11 hit points of damage. Against golems, the rod does 8 to 22 hit points of damage. Any score of 20 or better completely destroys the monster. but any hit upon a golem drains 1 charge. The rod does normal damage versus creatures of the outer planes, such as demons, devils, and night hags. Any score of 20 or better draws off 1 charge and causes triple damage, times 3. The rod cannot be recharged. Staves. Unless inapplicable or otherwise specified, staves function at the 8th level of magic use, i.e., their spell discharge is that of an 8th level of experienced magic user with respect to range, duration, area of effect. The magic functions of a staff generally require only 2 segments to discharge, but the device must then build up power again, and this requires 8 segments. Damage is nominally, am I saying that right? 8d6 with respect to fireballs, lightning bolts, etc. Staff of Command. This device has 3 functions, only 2 of which will be effective if the wielder is a magic user, but all 3 work when the staff is in a cleric's hands. The 3 functions are: 1. Human influence. The power duplicates that of the ring of the same name. Each suggestion or charm draws 1 charge from the staff. Number 2. Mammal control or animal control. This power functions only as a mammal control as the ring of that name when the staff is used by a magic user, but in the hands of a cleric, it is animal control, as the potion of that name, all types of animals listed. Either use drains 1 charge per turn or fraction thereof. 3. Plant control. This function duplicates that of the potion of the same name, but for each 1-inch square area of plants controlled for 1 turn or less, 1 charge is used. A magic user cannot control plants at all. The staff cannot be recharged. Hey, Chris, thanks for tuning in. Staff of Curing. This device can cure disease, cure blindness, cure wounds, 6 to 21 hit points, or cure insanity. Each function drains 1 charge. The device can be used but once per day on any person, dwarf, elf, gnome, half-elf, halfling, half-orc included, and no function may be employed more than twice per day, i.e., the staff can only function 8 times during a 24-hour period. It can be recharged. Staff of the Magi. I think we're all familiar with this one. Shirak. This potent staff contains many spell powers and other functions as well, so as to be a walking arsenal in one device. The staff has the following powers which do not drain charges: detect magic, enlarge, hold portal, light, protection from evil or good. The following powers drain 1 charge per usage: invisibility, knock, pyrotechnics, web, dispel magic, fireball, lightning bolt, ice storm, wall of fire, and pass wall. These powers drain 2 charges per usage: whirlwind, plane travel, conjure elemental, telekinesis. The whirlwind is identical to that caused by a djinn. Plane travel is similar to the psionic ability of probability travel, but travel is possible only to the various planes. The staff can be used to conjure 1 elemental of each type per day, each having 8 hit die. Telekinesis is at 8th level also, i.e. 200 pounds maximum weight. The Staff of the Magi adds +2 to all saving throws versus magic. The staff can be used to absorb magic user's spell energy directed at its wielder, but if the staff absorbs energy beyond its charge limit, it will explode, just as if a retributive strike, see below, has been made. The spell levels of energy absorbed count only as recharging the staff, but they cannot be redirected immediately. So, if absorption is desired, that is the only action possible by the staff wielder that round. Note also that the wielder has no idea of how many spell levels are cast at him, for the staff does not communicate this knowledge as does a rod of absorption. Therefore, absorbing spells can be risky. Absorption is the only way this staff can be recharged. Retributive strike is a breaking of the staff. It must be purposeful and declared by the magic user wielding it. When this is done, all levels of spell energy in the staff are released in a globe of 3-inch radius. All creatures within 1 inch of the broken staff take hit points of damage equal to 8 times the number of spell levels of energy, 1 to 25. Those between 1 inch to 2 inch take 6 times levels, and those 2 inch to 3 inch distant take 4 times levels. Successful saving throws versus magic indicate only when half damage is sustained. The magic user breaking the staff has a 50% chance of plane traveling to another plane of existence, but if he or she does not, the explosive release of spell energy totally destroys him or her. This and the Staff of Power are the only magic items capable of a retributive strike. That's brutal. It is very much that, yes, Sith. That Goldmoon used that against Kisanth in Zaxaroth. Staff of Power. The Staff of Power is also a very potent magical item with offensive and defensive capabilities. It has these powers: Continual Light, Darkness, 5-foot radius, Levitation, Magic Missile or Lightning Bolt, Ray of Enfeeblement, Cone of Cold or Fireball. These function cost 1 charge each. The following powers drain 2 charge each: Shield, 5-foot radius, Globe of Invulnerability, Paralyzation. Paralyzation is a ray from the end of the staff which extends in a cone 4 inches long and 2 inches wide at its base. The wielder of this staff gains +2 on armor class and saving throws. He or she may use the staff to smite opponents. It strikes as a +2 magic weapon and does 3 to 8 hit points of damage. If 1 charge is expended, the staff does double damage, but 2 charges do not triple damage. A Staff of Power can be broken for a retributive strike, CF, Staff of the Magi. The staff can be recharged. You may determine alternate powers shown by random die roll. Staff of the Serpent. There are 2 varieties of this staff, the Python and the Adder. The Python strikes as a +2 magic weapon and does 3 to 8 hit points of damage when it hits. If the cleric throws the staff on the ground, its 6 feet lengthens and thickens to become a constrictor snake, 25 feet long, armor class 3, 49 hit points, 9-inch movement. This happens in 1 round. The snake will entwine if it scores a hit, the opponent being constricted for 4 to 10 hit points of damage per round, and the victim will be so engaged until it or the python is destroyed. Note that the python will return to its owner upon command. If it is destroyed while in snake form, the staff is destroyed. The adder strikes as a +1 magic weapon and does 2 to 4 hit points of damage when it hits. Upon command, the head of the staff becomes that of an actual serpent. Armor class 5, 20 hit points. This head remains for 1 full turn. When a hit is scored, damage is not increased, but the victim must save versus poison or be slain. The only evil clerics will employ an adder staff. If the snake head is killed, the staff is destroyed. Neither staff has or requires charges. 60% of the staffs are pythons. Let's take a look at this. I clicked the wrong button. Awesome staff. This is the adder variant of the Staff of Striking. Pretty cool. I'm sorry, that was Staff of Serpent, not Striking. Staff of Striking. This oaken staff is the equivalent of a +3 magic weapon. If weapon versus armor type adjustment is made, the Staff of Striking is always treated as the most favorable weapon type versus any armor. It causes 4 to 9 points of damage when a hit is scored. This expends a charge. If 2 charges are expended, bonus damage is doubled. If 3 charges are expended, bonus damage is tripled. No more than 3 charges can be expended per strike. The staff can be recharged. Staff of Withering. The Staff of Withering is a +1 magic weapon. A hit from it causes 2 to 5 points of damage. If 2 charges are expended when a hit is scored, the creature struck will also age 10 years. Its abilities and lifespan adjusted for the resulting age increase. If 3 charges are expended when a hit is made, one of the opponent creature's limbs can be made to shrivel and become useless unless it saves versus magic. Check by random number generation for which member is struck. Note that ageless creatures, undead, demons, devils, etc., cannot be aged or weathered. Each effect of the staff is cumulative, so that 3 charges will score damage, age, and wither. Aging a dwarf is of little effect, while aging a dragon could actually aid the creature. I love this game when it has magic items like this, which affect aging, and then you have to reference the age table and your ability adjustments based on your age. And this is something that I've never played with anyone else in AD&D that pays attention to age. as far as the bonuses or minuses for your different abilities, your attributes. But I love it. In as much as I love rolling for the chance of having psychic powers, psionic powers, I should say. It's in the DMG. It's something worth exploring because it can actually give you a bonus if you start your career, or if you just want to create a realistic older warrior or, character of any kind. The age will indicate their adjustment to strength, wisdom, etc. It's just a great way to further immerse yourself in your character. Wands. Wands perform at 6th level of experience with respect to the damage they cause, range, duration, area of effect, etc., unless otherwise stated. At your option, 1% of wands are trapped to backfire. Wow, that's messed up. Wand of Conjuration. Grasping of this device enables a magic user to immediately recognize any cast or written magic user conjuration summoning spell: Unseen Servant, Monster Summoning, Conjure Elemental, Death Spell, Invisible Walker, Limited Wish, Symbol, Maze, Gate, Prismatic Sphere, Wish. The wand has the following powers, which require expenditure of 1 charge: Unseen Servant and Monster Summoning. A maximum of 6 charges may be expended for monster summoning, 1 per level of the monster summoned, or 6 monsters summoning 1, 3 monster summoning 2, 2 monster summoning 3, or any combination totaling 6. The magic user must be of a sufficient experience level to cast the appropriate summoning spell. The monster summoning takes 5 segments. The wand can also conjure up a curtain of blackness, a veil of total black, which absorbs all light. The curtain of blackness can cover a maximum area of 600 square feet, but it must stretch from ceiling to floor, wall to wall. The curtain costs 2 charges to conjure. The veil of total lightness can be penetrated only by physical means or magic. The wand also enables its wielder to constrict a prismatic sphere or wall, 1 color at a time, red to violet, at a 1 charge per color cost. Each function of the wand takes 5 segments of time, and only 1 function per round is possible. The wand may be recharged. Wand of Enemy Detection. This wand gives off a pulse and points in the direction of any hostile creature intent upon the bearer of the device. The creatures can be invisible, ethereal, astral, out of phase, hidden, disguised, or in plain sight. Detection range is a 6-inch sphere. The function requires 1 charge to operate for 1 turn. The wand can be recharged. Wand of Fear. When the Fear wand is activated, a pale amber ray springs from the tip of the wand, a cone 6 inches long by 2 inches in base diameter, which flashes in 1 segment and instantly disappears. Each creature touched by the ray must save versus a wand or react as per the Fear spell. First level cleric spell, remove fear reversal, i.e., turn and move as fast as possible away from the wand user for 6 rounds. Each usage costs 1 charge. It can operate but once per round. The wand can be recharged. Wand of Fire. This wand can be employed in 4 separate functions, which duplicates the following magic user spells. 1. Burning Hands. The wand emits a plane of fire, a fan-shaped sheet 10 feet wide at its terminus and 12 feet long. Each creature touched takes 6 hit points of damage. The plane appears in 1 segment, shoots forth its dark red flames, and snuffs out in less than 1 second. It expends 1 charge. 2. Pyrotechnics. This functions exactly duplicate to the spell of the same name. It requires 2 segments to activate. It expends 1 charge. Number 3. Fireball. The wand coughs forth a pea-sized sphere which streaks out to the desired range, or to a maximum range of 16 inches, and bursts in a fiery violet-red blast exactly as a fireball cast by a spell of that name would. The function takes 2 segments. It expends 2 charges. The fireball does 6 hit dice of damage, but all ones rolled are counted as 2s, i.e., the burst does 12 to 36 hit points. A saving throw versus wand is applicable. 4. Wall of Fire. The wand can be used to draw a fiery curtain of purplish red flames, which exactly duplicates the Wall of Fire spell cast by a magic user, i.e., a sheet of flame 12 square inches, which lasts for 6 rounds, causing 8 to 18 hit points damage if touched, and can also be made as a ring shape around the wand user, but the circle is only 2 1/4 inch diameter. This function requires 3 segments. It expends 2 charges. The Wand of Fire can operate but once per round. It can be recharged. Wand of Frost. A Frost Wand can perform 3 functions which duplicate magic user spells. 1. Ice Storm. A silvery ray springs forth from the wand, and in one segment, an ice or sleet storm occurs up to 6 inches distant from the wand holder. This function requires 1 charge. 2. Wall of Ice. The silvery ray will form a wall of ice 6 inches thick and a square area equal to 6 inches in 2 segments at a cost of 1 charge. 3. Cone of Cold. Dancing white crystalline motes spray forth from this wand in a cone with a 6-inch length and a terminal diameter of 2 inches. The cold comes forth in 2 segments but lasts but 1 second. The temperature is -100 degrees Fahrenheit, and damage is 6 hit die, treating all 1s rolled as 2s. The cost is 2 charges per use. Saving throw versus a wand is applicable. The wand can function but once per round and may be recharged. Wand of Illumination. This wand has 4 separate functions, 3 of which approximate magic user spells and 1 of which is singular. 1. Dancing Lights. In 1 segment, the wand will produce this effect at a cost of 1 charge. 2. Light. The Illumination wand sends forth light in 2 segments time at an expenditure of 1 charge. 3. Continual Light. This function requires only 2 segments to perform, but the cost is 2 charges. 4. Sunburst. When this effect is called forth, the wand delivers a sudden flash of brilliant greenish-white light with blazing golden rays. The range of this sunburst is 12 inches maximum, and its duration is but 1/10 of a second. Its area of effect is a globe of 4-inch diameter. Any undead within the globe takes 6 to 36 hit points of damage with no saving throw. Wow. Creatures within or facing the burst must save versus a wand or be blinded for 2 to 12 segments, and unable to do anything during that period. Of course, this creature in question must have ocular organs sensitive to the visible light spectrum. The function requires 3 segments and expends 3 charges. Nice. There are 10 segments in 1 round. Each segment is 6 seconds long, if memory serves, because each round is 1 minute. All right, the wand can be recharged. Wand of Illusion. The Illusion Wand creates both audible and visual illusions, cf. Audible Glamour, Phantasmal Force. The wand emits an invisible ray with a 14-inch maximum range. The effect takes 3 segments to commence. The wand wielder must concentrate on the illusion in order to maintain it, but he or she may move normally, not melee, and still do so. Each portion, audible and visual, costs 1 charge to effect and 1 per round to continue. The wand may be recharged. Wand of Lightning. This wand has 2 functions which closely resemble magic user spells. 1. Shock. This function causes the recipient to take 1 to 10 hit points of damage with no saving throw when struck in melee combat. Any 2-hit score discounts metallic armor and shield given opponent's armor class of 10. Wow! But not plain leather or wood. Magic bonuses on metallic armor do not affect armor class, but such items as a ring of protection do. The shock uses 1 charge. 2. Lightning Bolt. The possessor of the wand can discharge a bolt of lightning. The strike can be either the forked or straight bolt, cf. magic user spell, Lightning Bolt. Damage is 12 to 36, but a saving throw is applicable. This function uses 2 charges. It requires 2 segments to discharge. The wand may be recharged. It can perform but 1 function per round. Wand of Magic Detection. The wand is similar in operation to the enemy detection wand. If any form of magic is in operation or a magic item exists within a 3-inch radius, the magic detection wand will pulse and point to the strongest source. Note that the wand will point to a person upon whom a spell has been cast. Operation requires 1 round, and successive rounds will point out successively less powerful magic radiations. The category of magic, abjuration, alteration, etc., can be determined if 1 round is spent concentrating on the subject emanation. 1 charge is expended per turn, or fraction thereof, of use, starting with the second round of continuous use. There is a 2% cumulative chance per round that the wand will temporarily malfunction and indicate non-magical items as a magical or vice versa. The wand may be recharged. Wand of Metal and Mineral Detection. This wand also has a 3-inch radius range and pulses and points to the largest mass of metal within its effective area of operation. However, the wielder can concentrate on a specific metal or mineral type: gold, platinum, quartz, beryl, diamond, corundum, etc. If the specific type is within range, the wand will point to any and all places it is located, and the wand possessor will know the approximate quantity as well. Each operation requires 1 round. Each charge powers the wand for 1 full turn. The wand may be recharged. Wand of Magic Missiles. The Missiles wand discharges magic missiles which are similar to those of the first level magic user spell, Magic Missile. The device fires a magic missile which causes 2 to 5 hit points of damage. It operates as the spell of the same name, always hitting the target when wielded by a magic user, otherwise requiring a 2-hit die roll. Each missile takes 3 segments to discharge and costs 1 charge. A maximum of 2 may be expended in 1 round. The wand may be recharged. Wand of Negation. This device operates to negate the spell or spell-like function of rods, staves, wands, and other magical items. The individual with the negation wand points the device, and a pale gray beam shoots forth to touch the target, device, or individual. This will totally negate any wand function and make any other spell or spell-like function from a device 75% likely to be negated, whether it is a low-level spell or even if it is an ultra-powerful spell. Operation of the wand requires but 1 segment of a round. It can function but once per round, and each negation drains 1 charge. The wand cannot be recharged. Wand of Paralyzation. This wand shoots forth a thin ray of bluish color to a maximum range of 6 inches. If the ray touches any creature, it must save versus wands or be rigidly immobile for from 5 to 20 rounds. A save indicates the ray missed, and there's no effect. Each operation takes 3 segments and costs 1 charge. The wand may operate once per round. It may be recharged. Note that as soon as a ray touches 1 creature, it stops. The wand can attack only 1 target per round. Wand of Polymorphing. The polymorphing wand emits a green beam, a thin ray which darts forth to a maximum distance of 6 inches. If this beam touches any creature, it must make a saving throw versus wands, successful indicating a miss, or be polymorphed, others, as the spell of the same name. The wand wielder may opt to form the victim into a snail, frog, insect, etc., as long as the result is a small and inoffensive creature. The possessor of the wand may elect to touch a creature with the device instead. When this is done, unwilling creatures must be hit, and they are also entitled to a saving throw. The recipient is surrounded by dancing motes of sparkling emerald light, and then transforms into whatever creature shape the wielder has stated. This is the same magical effect as the polymorph self spell. Either function requires 3 segments. Each draws 1 charge. Only 1 function per round is possible. The wand may be recharged. Wand of Secret Door and Trap Location. This wand has an effective radius of 1.5 inches for secret door locations, 3 inches for trap location. When the wand is energized, it will pulse and point to whichever thing it is to locate if a secret door or trap is within location range. Note that it locates either one or the other, not both, during one operation. It requires 1 round to function and draws 1 charge. The wand may be recharged. Wand of Wonder. The Wand of Wonder is a strange and unpredictable device which will generate any number of strange effects randomly each time it is used. The usual effects are shown in the table below, but you may alter those for any or all of these wands in your campaign as you see fit. Although it is recommended that you follow the pattern shown, the functions of the wand are: 1 to 10, slow creatures pointed at for 1 turn. 11 to 18, deludes wielder for 1 round into believing the wand functions as indicated by a second die roll. 19 to 25, gust of wind, doubles force of the spell. 26 to 30, stinking cloud at 3 inches range. 31 to 33, heavy rainfall for 1 round in 6-inch radius of 1 wielder. 34 to 36, summon rhino, 1 to 25, elephant, 26 to 50, or mouse, 51 to 100. 37 to 46, lightning bolt, 7 inches by 1/2 inch as wand. 47 to 49, stream of 600 large butterflies pour forth and flutter around for 2 rounds, blinding everyone, including the wielder. 50 to 53, enlarge target if in 6 inches of wand. 54 to 58, darkness in a 3-inch diameter hemisphere at 3-inch center distance from wand. 59 to 62, grass grows an area of 16 inches square before wand, or grass existing there grows to 10 times normal size. 63 to 65, vanish any non-living object of up to 1,000 pounds mass and up to 30 cubic feet in size. Object is ethereal. 66 to 69, diminish wand wielder to 1-inch height. 70 to 79, fireball as wand. 80 to 84, invisibility covers wand wielder. 85 to 87, leaves grow from target if in 6 inches of wand. 88 to 90, 10 to 40 gems of 1 gold piece base value shoot forth in a 3-inch long stream, each causing 1 hit point of damage to any creature in the path. Roll 5 to 4 for number of hits. 91 to 97, shimmering colors dance and play over a 4-inch by 3-inch area in front of the wand, creatures therein blinded for 1 to 6 rounds. And 98 to 100, flesh to stone, or reverse if target is stone, if target is within 6 inches. The wand uses 1 charge per function. It may not be recharged. Where applicable, saving throws should be made. All right, we are at the end of that section. Now we're dealing with miscellaneous magic. As the name implies, this category is a catch-all for many sorts of magical items. Some are powerful, others weak, some are highly desirable, others are deadly to the finder. The number of such items is great in order to make it improbable that there will be duplicates in a campaign, or at least not more than 2 or 3. Use care in revealing information regarding any item found by players. Describe an item only in the most general of terms, viz. Wood, metal, cloth, leather, etc. Allow players questions to simulate visual and tactile examination. A cloak appears as a cloth object. Only examination will reveal its form and probable nature. Likewise, do not simply blurt out the properties and powers of an item. It must be held or worn or whatever. And experiment and experience are the best determinators of magical qualities if some other means is not available. A bard, sage, commune spell, etc. Items are listed alphabetically. Artifacts and relics are listed 1% on table E1, directing the reader to E special for enumeration. These items are detailed after all other miscellaneous magic. If you do not desire such an item to occur, substitute a bag of beans or the next item on the table. Unless noted by class letter in parentheses after a listing, items are usable by any class, not otherwise prohibited. Class letters are C, clerics, F, fighters, etc., and each listing includes appropriate subclasses. I want to show the little image here real quick. I just love seeing all of these illustrations. I just think they're a lot of fun. Special note. All magical books, librams, manuals, tomes, etc. appear to be normal works of arcane lore. Each is completely indistinguishable from the other by visual examination of the outer parts or by detection for magical aura. Bard characters will have normal chances of finding out if the nature of such writings, as will an identify spell from a magic user. Otherwise, only a wish will be useful in typing a magical writing, i.e. alter reality, commune, contact higher planes, limited wish, true seeing, true sight, and other spells or powers are useless. A wish will reveal general contents of a book, telling what characteristics or class is most affected, not necessarily benefited by the work. It requires a second wish to determine exact contents. After being perused by a character, most of these magical works will vanish forever, but those which are non-beneficial to the reader will typically be attached to the character, and he or she will be unable to be rid of it. If the work benefits another alignment of character, the possessor is geased to conceal and guard the writing. As Dungeon Master, you should use your judgment and imagination as to exactly how these items will be treated, using the rules herein as parameters. Table E1. Well, it's 3E1. Alchemy Jug. This magical device can pour forth varying liquids upon command. The quantity of each liquid is dependent upon the liquid itself. The jug can pour only one kind of liquid on any given day, 7 pourings maximum. The liquids pourable and quantity per pouring are salt water, 16 gallon, fresh water, 8 gallon, beer, 4 gallon, vinegar, 2 gallon, wine, 1 gallon, ammonia, 1 quart, oil, 1 pint, aqua regia, 2 gills, 8 ounce, alcohol, 1 gill, 4 ounce, chlorine, 8 drams, 1 ounce, cyanide, 4 drams, 1/2 ounce. The jug will pull forth 2 gallons per round, so it will require 8 rounds to complete 1 pouring of salt water. Amulet of Inescapable Location. This device is typically worn on a chain or as a brooch, which pins on. It appears to be an amulet which prevents location, scrying, crystal ball viewing, and the like, or detecting influence by ESP or telepathy. Actually, the amulet doubles the likelihood and or range of these location and detection modes, however. Normal determination attempts, including detect magic, will not reveal its true nature. Amulet of Life Protection. This pendant or brooch device serves as a ward for the psyche, soul. The wearer cannot be possessed by magic jar spell or any similar mental attack, including demonic or diabolical means. If the wearer is slain, the psyche enters the amulet and is protected for 7 full days. Thereafter, it goes to the plane of its alignment. However, if the amulet is destroyed during the 7 days, the psyche is utterly and irrevocably annihilated. Note: psionic attack modes, psionic blast, or psionic crush will not harm the wearer. Amulet of the Plains. The Amulet of the Plains is a device which enables the individual possessing it to transport himself or herself instantly to or from any of the upper levels of the outer planes. This travel is absolutely safe, but until the individual learns the device, transport will be random. Roll d6, 1 to 3 equals do not add 12. 4 to 6 equals add 12 to d12 for 1 to 24 random results. And the locations are the 7 heavens, Twin Paradises, Elysium, Happy Hunting Grounds, Olympus, Gladsheim, Limbo, Pandemonium, Abyss, Tartarus, Hades, Gehenna, 9 Hells, Archeron, Nirvana, Arcadia, Primaterial Plane. You may alternately have the following results: Ethereal Plane, Astral Plane, Prime, but alternate Earth. Amulet of Proof Against Detection and Location. This device wards the wearer against all divination and mental or magical location and or detection. The wearer cannot be detected through clairaudience, clairvoyance, ESP, telepathy, crystal balls, or any other scrying devices. No aura is discernible on the wearer, and predictions cannot be made regarding him or her unless some powerful being is consulted. Apparatus of Qualsh. When initially found, this item will certainly appear as a large iron barrel. It has a secret catch which opens a hatch in one end. Inside are 10 levers. 1. Extend legs and tail retract, same. 2. Uncover forward porthole, cover, same. 3. Uncover side portholes, cover, same. 4. Extend pinchers and feelers, retract, same. 5. Snap pinchers. 6. Forward left or right. 7. Backwards left or right. 8. Open eyes with continual light inside, close eyes. 9. Raise, levitate, sink. 10. Open hatch, close hatch. The apparatus moves forward as a 3-inch speed, backwards at 6 inches. The 2 pinchers extend forward 4 feet and snap for 2 to 12 hit points of damage each If they hit a creature, 25% chance, no reduction for armor, but dexterity reduction applies. The device can operate in waters up to 900 feet deep. It can hold 2 human-sized persons and enough air to operate for 2 to 5 hours at maximum capacity. The apparatus is armor class 0 and will take 100 hit points damage to cause a leak, 200 to stave in a side. When the device is fully operating, the hull appears as something like a giant lobster. That's freaking awesome. That's some gnome shit right there. I love that. If a gnome built it in your Dragonlance campaign, would you get into it? Arrow of Direction. An arrow of direction typically appears to be a normal or possibly magic arrow. Its magical properties make it function much as a locate object spell, however, empowering the arrow to show the direction of the desired way. Once per day, the device can be tossed into the air. It will fall and point toward the desired way, and this process can be repeated 7 times during the next 7 turns. Note, the arrow will point only towards requested way or location. The request can be only for one of the following: stairway, up or down; slope, passage, up or down; dungeon exit or entrance, cave, cavern. Requests must be phrased by distance, nearest, farthest, highest, lowest, or by direction, north, south, east, west, etc. Bag of Beans. This bag is constructed of heavy cloth. It's about 2 feet wide and 4 feet long, the size of any other bag or large sack. When it is opened and examined, it will reveal several large pebble-like objects. If these objects are dumped out of the bag, they will each explode for 5 to 20 hit points of damage each. All creatures within a 10-foot radius must save versus magic or take full damage. To be removed safely, the beans in the bag must be taken out by hand. Telekinesis will not work, nor can they be worked out using tools in any way which will not explode them. Each pebble, like bean, must be placed in dirt and watered. From each, in succession, will spring some creature or object. It is suggested that 3 to 12 beans are optimum, and only 1 or 2 will be beneficial, the others being monsters or useless things. For example, number 1, 3 shriekers spring up and begin wailing. Number 2, an ice storm strikes the area. Number 3, a poisonous raspberry bush with animated runners shoot up, but each of its 5 to 20 berries is a gem of 100 or 500 gold piece base value, or perhaps just worthless glass. 4, a hole opens in the ground. A purple worm can be... Whoa, excuse me. A purple worm can be below or a gin ring. Holy cow. Number 5. Smoke and gases cover an area of 50 feet radius for 5 turns, and creatures therein cannot see and will be blinded for 1 to 6 rounds, even when they step out of the glass. 6. A wyvern grows instantly and attacks. Its sting is a javelin of piercing. Number 7. Poison gas seeps out slowly, forming a cloud of 20 feet radius, which persists for 1 turn. While it lasts, it might turn some dirt at its center to magic dust. Appearance vanishing, sneezing, and choking. Thought, imagination, and judgment are required with this item. Wow. Bag of beans sounds like a bag of Christmas crackers. Never know what's going to be revealed. Bag of devouring. This bag appears as a typical sack, possibly appearing to be empty, possibly as having beans in the bottom. The sack is, however, the lure used by an extra-dimensional creature. It is one of its feeding orifices. Any substance of animal or vegetable nature is subject to swallowing if it is thrust within the bag. The bag of devouring is 90% likely to ignore any initial intrusions, but anytime it senses living flesh within, it is 60% likely to close and attempt to draw the whole victim within. Base 75% chance for success, less strength bonus for damage, each +1 equals -5% on base chance. Thus, a 18 strength character with +2 damage is only 65% likely to be drawn into the bag, while a 5 strength character with -1 damage is 80% likely to be drawn in. The bag radiates magic. It can hold up to 30 cubic feet of matter. It will act as a bag of holding, normal capacity, but each turn it has a 5% cumulative chance of swallowing the contents and then spitting the stuff out in some non-space. Creatures drawn within are consumed in 7 segments of a round, eaten and gone forever. Holy shit. Bag of holding. As with other magic bags, this one appears to be a common cloth sack about 2 feet by 4 feet size. The bag of holding opens into a non-dimensional space, and its inside is larger than its outside dimensions. Regardless of what is put into this item, the bag of holding always weighs a fixed amount. This weight, the bag's weight limit and contents, and its volume, content are dependent upon its quality as shown below. So it ranges from 15 to 60 pounds, weight limits from 250 to 1,500, and volume limit from 30 cubic feet to 250 cubic feet. If overloaded or sharp objects are placed within so as to pierce it, the bag will rupture and be ruined, and the contents will be lost forever in the vortices of nil space. Bag of transmuting. This magical sack appears to be a bag of holding of one of the 4 quality types. It will perform properly for 2 to 5 uses or more if the usages are made within a few days. However, at some point the magic field will waver and precious metals and gems within the bag will be turned into common metals and stones of no worth. When emptied, the bag will burst to open forth these transmuted metals and minerals. Any magic items other than artifacts and relics placed in the bag will become ordinary and dull lead, glass, or wood as appropriate. No saving throw. Once the transmuting effects have begun. Bag of tricks. As usual, a bag of tricks appears to be of typical size for sacks, and visual or other examination will not reveal any contents. However, if an individual reaches inside, he or she will feel a small, fuzzy object. If this is withdrawn and tossed 1 foot to 20 feet away, it will balloon into one of the following animals, which will obey and fight for the individual who brought it into being until the current combat terminates. The animals inside a bag of tricks are dependent upon what sort of bag is found. Roll d10 to determine which type. So it's weasel, skunk, badger, wolf, lynx, wolverine, boar, or stag. Rat, owl, dog, goat, ram, bull, bear, or lion. And jackal, eagle, baboon, ostrich, leopard, jaguar, buffalo, or tiger. Only 1 creature can be drawn forth at a time. It alone exists until it is slain or 1 turn has elapsed and is ordered back into the bag of tricks. Another animal may then be brought forth, but it could be another just like the one which was drawn previously. Note that only 1 roll is made for the type of bag, but type of creature is rolled for each time one is drawn forth. Up to 10 creatures maximum may be drawn from the bag each week. Beaker of plentiful potions. This container resembles a jug or flask. It is a magical beaker with alchemical properties which compound from 2 to 5 doses of from 2 to 5 potions of any sort as initially determined by random selection. Different potion sorts are layered in the container, and each pouring takes 1 round and spills forth 1 dose of 1 potion type. Roll 2d4 plus 1 to find the number of potions the beaker contains. Roll for each potion contained so as to find what it is. Delusion and poison are possible. And record type by order of occurrence. Duplication is possible. If the container holds only 2 potions, it will dispense them 1 each per day, 3 times per day. If 3 are contained, it will dispose them once each per day, 2 times per week. And if 4 or 5 are contained, it will pour forth but 1 time per week. Once opened, the beaker will gradually lose the ability to produce potions. This reduction in ability results in the permanent loss of 1 potion type per month. Boat. Folding. A folding boat will always be discovered as a small wooden box, about 1 foot long, 1/2 foot wide, and 1/2 foot deep. It will, of course, radiate magic if detection is possible. The box can contain other things. If a command word is given, the box will unfold itself to form a boat of 10 feet length, 4 feet width, and 2 feet depth. A second different command word will cause it to unfold to a 24-foot long, 8 feet wide, and 6 feet deep ship. The former will have one pair of oars, an anchor, a mast, and lateen sail. The latter is decked, has single rowing seats, 5 sets of oars, a steering oar, anchor, a deck cabin, a mast, and square sail. The first can hold 3 or 4 persons comfortably. The second will carry 15 persons with ease. A third word of command will cause the boat or ship to fold itself into a box once again. You may have the words of command inscribed visibly or invisibly on the box, have them written elsewhere, perhaps on an item within the box, or you might simply have them lost and require a search. Via legend lore, consult a sage, physical search of the dungeon, etc. to discover them. Book of Exalted Deeds. This holy book is sacred to clerics of good alignment. Reading of the work will require 1 week. Upon completion, the good cleric will gain 1 point of wisdom and experience points sufficient to place him or her exactly halfway into the next level of experience. Clerics, neither good nor evil, will lose 20,000 to 80,000 experience points from perusal of the work. A negative XP total is possible, requiring restoration but not lowering level below first. Evil clerics will lose 1 full experience level, dropping to the lowest possible number of experience points possible to hold the level. They will further have to atone by magic means, or by offering up to 50% of everything they gain for 2 to 5 adventures, losing the appropriate number of experience points as well, or gain no further experience. Fighters who handle or read the book will not be affected, although a paladin will feel it to be good. Magic users who read it will suffer the loss of 1 point of intelligence unless they save versus magic, and if they do save, they will lose from 2,000 to 20,000 experience points. A thief who handles or reads the work will sustain 5 to 30 hit points of damage and must save versus magic or lose 1 point of dexterity and have a 10 to 60% chance of giving up his or her profession to become a good cleric if wisdom is 15 or higher. Assassins handling or reading the Book of Exalted Deeds will take 5 to 40 hit points of damage and must save versus magic or commit suicide. What? Monks are not harmed by the work, nor can they understand it. Bards are treated as neutral clerics, experience point loss being from bard experience only. Note that, except as indicated above, this writing cannot be distinguished by cover or scansion from any other magic book, librum, tome, etc. It must be perused. This applies also to other magical writings detailed hereafter. Once perused, the book vanishes, never to be seen again, nor can the same player or character ever benefit from perusing the like a second time. I guess that's the book. Book of Infinite Spells. This magical writing bestows spell usability upon its possessor, but upon first reading the work, any character not already able to use spells will suffer 5 to 20 hit points of damage and be stunned for 5 to 20 turns. Thereafter, he or she can examine the writing without further harm. The Book of Infinite Spells contains from 23 to 30 pages. The nature of each page must be determined by random die roll. Use the following table. 1 to 30 is a blank page, 31 to 50 is a cleric spell, 51 to 60 is a druid spell, 61 to 95 is a magic user spell, 96 to 100 is an illusionist spell. If a spell is written on a page, roll d10 for all except magic user spell, for which a d12 is rolled, to determine spell level. Results of 8 to 10 indicate a d6, d8 for magic user spells, is to be rolled instead. When level is known, determine the particular spell by random means also. Record page contents secretly and do not reveal this information to the holder of the book. Once a page is turned, it can never be flipped, i.e., paging through the book is a one-way trip. When the last page is turned, the book vanishes. The owner of the Book of Infinite Spells can cast the spell to which the book is opened, but once per day only, unless the spell is one which the character would normally be able to cast by reason of class and level, in which case the spell can be cast up to 4 times per day due to the book's magical powers. The book need not be the actual presence of the owner in order to employ spell ability, so he or she can store it in a place safely while adventuring and still cast spells by means of its power. Each time a spell is cast, there is a chance the energy connected with its use will cause the page to magically turn despite all precautions. The owner will know this and possibly even benefit from the turning by gaining access to a new spell. The chance of a page turning is as follows. Spellcaster employing spells usable by his or her class and or level is 10%. Spellcaster using spell foreign to his or her class and or level is 20%. Non-spellcaster using cleric spell is 25%. Non-spellcaster using magic spell is 30%. Treat the spell use just as if a scroll were being employed, including time of casting, spell failure, etc. All right, that is where we're going to end just before the Book of Vile Darkness. Pretty awesome. All right, so what do you guys think? Do you have any favorite magic items we might have covered? Let me know in the comments. That's going to do it for this episode of Gaming Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. What do you think of the magic item descriptions? Do you have a favorite magic item? Feel free to email me at info@dlsaga.com or leave a comment below. I would like to take a moment and remind you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, ring the bell to get notified about upcoming videos, and click the like button. This all goes to help other Dragonlance fans learn about this channel and its content. Thank you to creator patron Aaron Hardy, producer patron Azrael, and developer patron Chris Androu. This channel is all about celebrating the wonderful world of the DragonLance Saga, and I hope you'll join me in the celebration. Thank you for watching. This has been Adam with DragonLance Saga, and until next time, Salon Javar.